In the world of criminology, not all monsters are created equal. To catch a predator, profilers and detectives must first understand the architecture of their minds. Every crime scene tells a story, and every killer leaves a psychological blueprint. Today, we are opening the case files. Here is every major killer profile and true crime term explained. A serial killer is defined as an individual who murders 3 or more people over an extended period, usually spanning months or years. The most defining characteristic is the psychological cooling off period between murders. They kill, the psychological tension drops, they return to their seemingly normal lives, and wait until the dark urge builds up again. Jeffrey Dahmer and John Wayne Gacy are textbook examples, hiding their monstrous acts behind closed doors for years. Unlike serial killers, a spree killer doesn't rest. They operate on pure adrenaline and rage. They murder people at 2 or more locations with almost no time break in between. It is a continuous, chaotic, and deadly rampage. Because they don't stop to hide or cool off, spree killings usually end swiftly, either by the killer taking their own life or through a violent shootout with law enforcement. Andrew Cunanan, who murdered 5 people across the country, fits this profile perfectly. A mass murderer kills multiple people, usually 4 or more, in a single location at one time. One place, one horrific event. These killers do not hide. They are often driven by a sudden explosion of long-term resentment, feelings of extreme social alienation, or a desire for revenge against a specific institution. Their goal is maximum casualties in minutes, often ending in their own death at the scene. MO, or modus operandi, is a Latin term meaning method of operation. It is the strictly functional part of the crime. How does the killer gain access? What weapon do they use? How do they dispose of the evidence? Ted Bundy's MO involved feigning an injury, like wearing a fake cast, and asking young women for help carrying books to his car. The MO is a learned behavior, and it can evolve as the killer becomes more experienced. While the MO is what the killer needs to do to get away with the crime, the signature is what they want to do to satisfy their psychological needs. It is completely unnecessary to the act of killing itself. This could involve posing the victim's body in a degrading way, tying a highly specific type of knot, or leaving a unique calling card at the scene. The signature rarely changes because it is the core of the killer's dark fantasy. Just like a traveler buys a magnet to remember a trip, a killer takes an item to remember their crime. A souvenir helps them fuel their fantasies and relive the murder later. A trophy, on the other hand, is a symbol of total victory and dominance over the victim. It can be a piece of jewelry, an ID card, or, in the most disturbing cases, a lock of hair or a body part. The organized killer is the profiler's worst nightmare. They plan their attacks meticulously. They target strangers, often stalking them for weeks. They bring their own weapons, clean the crime scene, and transport the body to hide it. Highly intelligent and socially competent, they often have families, stable jobs, and blend perfectly into normal society. Dennis Rader, the BTK killer, lived as a family man and a church leader while terrorizing his city for decades. The disorganized killer is the exact opposite. They kill impulsively and opportunistically without any prior planning. They leave the body right where it falls, often using whatever weapon they can find at the crime scene. Their crime scenes are chaotic and filled with evidence. Profilers usually characterize disorganized killers as socially inadequate, lacking steady employment, and often suffering from severe mental illness or substance abuse issues. Richard Chase, the vampire of Sacramento, left incredibly chaotic and bloody scenes. A visionary killer suffers from a severe break from reality, often experiencing active psychosis or schizophrenia. They don't kill for sexual pleasure or financial gain. They kill because they believe entities, like demons, angels, aliens, or even the devil himself, are directly commanding them to commit murder. David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, famously claimed his neighbor's dog was a demon ordering him to kill. The mission-oriented killer is fully connected to reality, but their morality is deeply twisted. They believe they have a grand purpose, cleaning up society. They target a specific demographic of people, such as sex workers, the homeless, or individuals of a certain race or religion. They believe it is their dark duty to eradicate these people, viewing themselves not as murderers, but as lethal street sweepers. This type of killer commits murder simply because it's fun. The hedonistic killer derives an extreme thrill, intense pleasure, or immense financial gain from the act of ending a life. To them, human beings are not people with families and futures. They are merely objects to be used, abused, and discarded for their own dark entertainment. For the power and control killer, the physical act of murder is secondary. The ultimate goal is total, terrifying domination over another human being. They love the intoxicating feeling of playing God. They want to dictate exactly when, where, and how their victim will die, feeding off their fear and helplessness. Ted Bundy was deeply driven by this need to possess and control his victims until their final breath. The Angel of Death is a medical killer operating in plain sight within hospitals or care homes. Usually a nurse or doctor, they intentionally kill their vulnerable patients. They often inject lethal doses of medication, later claiming they just wanted to end the patient's suffering. In reality, they are addicted to the ultimate power trip of holding life and death in their own hands. Charles Cullen, who murdered dozens of patients, perfectly fits this chilling profile. The Black Widow is a classic profile, usually referring to a female killer who systematically murders her husbands, lovers, or close family members. They are incredibly patient, often using subtle weapons like arsenic or antifreeze over a long period. Their motive is rarely rage or lust. It is almost always cold, calculated financial gain, such as collecting massive life insurance payouts or inheriting estates. Perhaps the most terrifying concept in true crime is the cooling off period. This is the time between murders where the serial killer drops the monster act and puts on a mask of sanity. They go back to work, smile at their neighbors, kiss their children goodnight, and act completely normal. They are the friendly face next door, until the dark urge takes over once again. The human mind is capable of incredible things, but it also harbors terrifying shadows. Understanding these profiles doesn't make the monsters disappear, but it helps us recognize their footprints in the dark. Which profile terrifies you the most? Let me know in the comments below, and remember, the person standing next to you might just be in their cooling off period. Stay vigilant.